Welcome to my channel. Here you will learn English through calm and meaningful stories. Stories that are simple, motivating, and easy to understand. In this video series, we will talk about 10 habits that can change your life. These habits are simple, but powerful. This content is created for English level 1 to 2 learners, so you can improve your listening, vocabulary, and confidence step by step. Relax your mind, listen slowly, and take one lesson at a time. There was a time when I felt tired every day. Not just tired in my body, but tired in my mind. I woke up without energy. I felt lost. I felt stuck. Nothing was completely wrong, but nothing felt right either. Then, slowly, something changed. Not in one day, not in 1 week. It changed because of small habits. These habits did not make me rich. They did not make me famous. But they saved my life. If you feel tired for no clear reason, if you feel stuck even when you try, if you feel lost and don't know where to start, this series is for you. You don't need to change everything today. You only need to change one habit. Let's begin. Journey 1. The habit of waking up with purpose. There was a time when waking up felt heavy. Not because the body was tired, but because the mind had no direction. The alarm rang, and the first feeling was not hope. It was pressure. Another day, another repeat. Many people wake up like this. They open their eyes, but they do not feel awake inside. They move their body, but their mind is still tired. They start the day already feeling behind. This is where life slowly becomes difficult. Waking up without purpose does not feel dangerous at first. It feels normal, but day after day, it quietly steals energy, focus, and hope. For a long time, mornings were rushed. Wake up late, check the phone, think about problems, feel stress before even leaving the bed. There was no calm moment, no clear intention, just noise. And when the day starts like this, the rest of the day follows the same path. The habit of waking up with purpose does not mean waking up early like a robot. It does not mean forcing happiness. It means waking up with awareness. It means asking one simple question when you open your eyes. What kind of day do I want today? This question is small, but powerful. Most people let the day control them. Messages control them. Problems control them. Other people's moods control them. But when you wake up with purpose, you take back a little control. Purpose in the morning does not need big goals. It does not need motivation speeches. It starts with something very simple. Silence. Just 1 quiet minute before touching the phone. Before thinking about work. Before thinking about stress. 1 minute to breathe. 1 minute to be present. This habit slowly changes the mind. When you wake up calmly, the brain feels safer. When the brain feels safe, thinking becomes clearer. When thinking becomes clearer, decisions become better. Many people think motivation comes from big dreams, but motivation often comes from calm mornings. A calm start creates a strong base. Waking up with purpose also means choosing one small intention for the day. Not 10 goals, not a long list, just one. It can be simple. Today, I will be patient. Today, I will focus. Today, I will not give up easily. This intention becomes an anchor. When the day becomes difficult, you remember it. When stress appears, you return to it. Without intention, the mind reacts. With intention, the mind responds. This habit saved many days from becoming completely wasted. There were days when everything went wrong. Plans failed. Energy dropped. People disappointed. But because the day started with purpose, it did not collapse completely. The habit of waking up with purpose does not remove problems. It changes how you face them. Another important part of this habit is not checking the phone immediately. Phones bring noise. Messages bring pressure. Social media brings comparison. When you wake up and enter noise immediately, your mind becomes crowded. A crowded mind cannot focus. So this habit asks for one simple rule. You own the first minutes of your day. Even 5 minutes is enough. Sit up, Breathe slowly. Feel your body. Feel the room. This sounds small, but small habits change life slowly and deeply. People often say they feel lost, but being lost usually starts in the morning. When mornings have no direction, days feel empty. When days feel empty, life feels heavy. Purpose fixes this step by step. You do not need to know your life mission. You only need to know how you want to show up today. Waking up with purpose also creates self-respect. When you keep a promise to yourself in the morning, even a small one, your confidence grows. Confidence does not come from success alone. It comes from consistency. This habit teaches consistency gently. Some mornings will be hard. Some mornings you will forget. That is okay. This habit is not about perfection. It is about returning. Return to calm. Return to intention. Return to awareness. Over time, something changes. The body wakes up easier. The mind feels lighter. The day feels more manageable. Not perfect, but manageable. And when days become manageable, life becomes livable again. Many people try to change their life by changing everything at once. They fail and feel worse. This habit is different. It starts small, it starts quietly, but it starts at the right place, the beginning. If you control the beginning of your day, you slowly regain control of your life. Waking up with purpose does not mean every day will be good. It means every day will be intentional. And intentional days build meaningful lives. This is why this habit comes first. Before discipline, before motivation, before big goals. Because without a calm and purposeful start, everything else feels heavy. This habit did not change life overnight, but it stopped life from falling apart. And sometimes that is the biggest change of all. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of showing up every day, why consistency matters more than motivation, and how small effort beats big promises. Journey 2. The habit of showing up every day. There was a time when motivation decided everything. If the feeling was good, effort appeared. If the feeling was low, nothing happened. Many days started with plans but ended with excuses. This is very common. Most people wait to feel ready before they act. They wait for motivation, energy, or confidence. But life does not wait. Days pass quietly. Weeks disappear. And slowly, people feel more stuck. Not because they are weak, but because they only move when they feel motivated. This is where the habit of showing up every day changes everything. Showing up does not mean doing everything perfectly. It does not mean working hard all the time. It simply means being present, even when the mood is low, even when energy is missing, even when the mind says, "Not today." Showing up is the decision to take one small step, even on bad days. This habit saved many lives because it removes pressure. Instead of asking, "Can I do my best today?" it asks, "Can I do something today?" And something is always possible. Many people believe consistency is about strong discipline, but real consistency is gentle. It is quiet. It does not shout. It simply repeats. Showing up every day means accepting that some days will feel heavy, some days will feel empty, some days will feel slow, and still, you show up. You open the book. You listen for 5 minutes. You write one sentence. You take one walk. These actions look small, but they are powerful because they break the habit of disappearing. Disappearing is dangerous. When people stop showing up for themselves, they slowly lose trust in themselves. Promises are broken. Confidence drops. The mind starts to believe, "I never finish anything." This belief becomes heavy. The habit of showing up repairs this quietly. Every time you show up, even in a small way, you send a message to your brain, "I am still here." That message builds strength over time. There were days when nothing felt meaningful. No motivation, no excitement, no clear reason to try. On those days, showing up felt pointless. But later, those days mattered the most, because those days taught discipline without force. They taught patience without reward. They taught that effort does not need a good mood. This lesson changes how life feels. You stop depending on feelings. You start depending on commitment. Showing up every day also creates rhythm. Rhythm makes life feel stable. When life feels chaotic, rhythm brings calm. Even one small daily habit can create this rhythm. Waking up at the same time, reading at the same time, walking at the same time. This rhythm tells the mind that life is not completely out of control. And when the mind feels safe, progress becomes easier. Another important part of this habit is forgiving yourself quickly. Some days you will miss a habit. You will feel tired. You will forget. That is normal. The habit is not about never missing. It is about not quitting. Missing one day does not break progress. Quitting does. Showing up again the next day is what matters. This mindset removes guilt. Guilt often stops people from returning. Forgiveness brings them back. Many people think big changes need big actions, but big actions are hard to repeat. Small actions are easier to repeat. Repetition creates change. Showing up every day focuses on repetition, not intensity. 5 minutes every day is stronger than 1 hour once a week. This is because the mind learns through repetition. Confidence grows through repetition. Identity changes through repetition. When you show up every day, something else changes slowly. Your identity. You stop saying, "I try sometimes." You start saying, "I do this." You become someone who shows up. This identity is powerful. It affects how you see yourself. It affects how others see you. But most importantly, it affects how you treat your future. There were times when showing up felt boring. The work felt the same. No new results. No excitement. But boredom is part of growth. Boredom means the habit is settling. It means effort is becoming normal. This is where most people quit. They confuse boredom with failure. But boredom is often a sign of progress. It means you are past the excitement stage and entering the discipline stage. Staying here changes lives. Showing up every day also reduces fear. Fear grows when tasks feel big and unclear. When you show up daily, tasks become familiar. Familiar things feel less scary. Even difficult goals become manageable when broken into daily actions. Fear loses power when action becomes routine. This habit is especially important when life feels heavy. On hard days, showing up does not mean pushing yourself. It means being kind but consistent. It means doing the minimum without disappearing. This keeps momentum alive. Momentum is fragile. Once lost, it is hard to rebuild. Showing up protects momentum gently. Over time, the habit of showing up creates trust between you and yourself. You start believing that you will not abandon yourself when things get hard. This trust is life-changing. It creates inner stability. Even when external life is unstable, internal trust keeps you moving. This habit did not make life perfect. Problems still appeared. Stress still came. But life stopped falling apart. Progress continued quietly. Days stopped feeling wasted. Even slow days felt meaningful. This is the power of showing up. You do not need to be strong every day. You only need to be present. You do not need to feel motivated. You only need to start. You do not need to see results immediately. You only need to repeat. The habit of showing up every day builds a bridge between who you are now and who you want to become. That bridge is built one small step at a time, quietly, patiently, honestly. This is why this habit comes early in the journey, because without showing up, no other habit can survive. Showing up is the foundation. It is not loud. It is not impressive, but it is powerful. And slowly, it changes everything. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of controlling your thoughts, how awareness can calm the mind and stop negative thinking from controlling your life. Journey 3. The habit of controlling your thoughts. There was a time when thoughts felt louder than reality. The body was safe, but the mind was restless. Worries appeared without warning. Old memories returned at the wrong time. Fear spoke louder than logic. Many people live like this every day. Their life is not controlled by events, but by thoughts. When thoughts are negative, life feels heavy. When thoughts are uncontrolled, peace feels far away. This is why the habit of controlling your thoughts becomes one of the most important habits in life. Most people believe thoughts are automatic and unstoppable. They think, this is just how my mind works. But thoughts can be observed. They can be slowed down. They can be guided. Controlling thoughts does not mean forcing happiness or blocking emotions. It means learning how to notice thoughts without following them blindly. This habit begins with awareness, not resistance. Many days started with negative thinking. Before anything happened, the mind predicted failure. Today will be hard. I will not do well. Nothing will change. These thoughts felt real, but they were not facts. They were habits. The mind repeats what it knows. If it knows fear, it repeats fear. If it knows doubt, it repeats doubt. The problem is not having negative thoughts. The problem is believing every thought without question. The habit of controlling thoughts starts by creating a small pause. When a negative thought appears, instead of reacting immediately, you pause. You notice it. You say silently, "This is a thought, not reality." This pause is powerful. It separates you from the thought. Without this pause, thoughts control actions. With this pause, you regain choice. Many people try to fight negative thoughts. They argue with them. They get angry at them. This often makes things worse. Fighting thoughts gives them more energy. Controlling thoughts is not fighting, it is observing. When you observe a thought calmly, it loses strength. Like a cloud passing in the sky, it comes and goes. Over time, awareness grows. You start noticing patterns. Certain thoughts appear in the morning. Others appear at night. Some thoughts come when you are tired. Some come when you feel alone. This awareness gives you power. You stop feeling confused. You understand your mind better. Understanding brings calm. Another important part of this habit is choosing what you feed your mind. The mind repeats what it consumes. Negative news, social media comparison, and constant noise create negative thinking. When the mind is overloaded, thoughts become chaotic. Controlling thoughts also means protecting mental space. This can be done simply. Less phone time, more silence, short moments of stillness during the day. Language also matters. The words you use inside your mind shape your emotions. Saying, "I can't," repeatedly trains the brain to stop trying. Saying, "I will try," keeps the door open. This does not mean lying to yourself. It means choosing words that support effort, not defeat. Small changes in inner language create big changes over time. There were moments when thoughts felt overwhelming. Fear felt stronger than logic. On those days, controlling thoughts meant returning to the body. Slow breathing, feeling the feet on the ground, feeling the present moment. This brings the mind back from imaginary problems to real safety. Many thoughts come from the future or the past. Peace exists only in the present. The habit of controlling thoughts also teaches kindness toward yourself. Instead of judging yourself for negative thinking, you learn to accept it gently. Judgment creates tension. Acceptance creates space. When you accept that negative thoughts happen, they lose power. You stop feeling broken, you feel human. This habit slowly changes identity. You stop saying, "My mind is a problem." You start saying, "My mind needs guidance." This shift is important. A problem feels heavy. Guidance feels possible. You become more patient with yourself. You stop rushing emotional healing. You allow growth to happen naturally. Over time, controlling thoughts creates emotional balance. Stress still comes, problems still appear, but they do not control the entire day. One negative thought does not ruin everything. You recover faster. You return to calm more easily. This ability is life-changing. The habit does not remove pain. It changes your relationship with pain. Pain becomes something you experience, not something you become. This separation protects mental health deeply. Many people suffer not because of pain, but because of constant thinking about pain. When thinking slows, suffering reduces. Controlling thoughts also supports other habits. Showing up every day becomes easier when the mind is calmer. Waking up with purpose feels natural when negative thoughts are quieter. This habit connects everything together. This journey teaches that peace does not come from controlling life. It comes from controlling attention. Where attention goes, energy follows. When attention is trapped in negative thinking, energy disappears. When attention returns to the present, energy returns. The habit of controlling thoughts is not learned in one day. It grows slowly. Some days you will forget. Some days thoughts will win. That is okay. The habit is not about winning every time. It is about returning again and again. Each time you notice a thought instead of following it, you grow stronger. Each time you pause instead of reacting, you build clarity. Over time, the mind becomes a calmer place to live in. This habit did not remove all problems, but it stopped problems from controlling life. And sometimes, that is the biggest freedom. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of silence and reflection, how less noise creates more clarity, and why silence is a powerful tool for healing and focus. Journey 4. The habit of silence and reflection. There was a time when silence felt uncomfortable. When everything became quiet, the mind started talking too much. Thoughts rushed in, worries appeared, memories returned, so noise felt safer. Music played all the time. Videos stayed on. Phones were checked again and again. Silence felt empty, but noise felt busy. Many people live like this. They avoid silence because they are afraid of what they might hear inside. But over time, constant noise creates confusion. The mind never rests. The heart never speaks. This is why the habit of silence and reflection slowly changes life. Silence does not mean being alone forever. It does not mean cutting off the world. It simply means creating small spaces without noise. Moments where the mind can breathe. Moments where thoughts slow down. Moments where you can listen, not to others, but to yourself. At first, silence feels strange. The mind is used to constant input. But silence is not empty. It is full of information. It shows you how you really feel. Many people do not know what they feel because they never stop. They move from task to task, from screen to screen, from sound to sound. Reflection cannot happen in this state. Reflection needs space. Silence creates that space. When silence appears, the mind starts sorting thoughts naturally. Problems that felt heavy become clearer. Emotions that were hidden come forward gently. The habit of silence does not need long hours. Even 5 minutes is enough. 5 minutes without phone. 5 minutes without music. Just sitting, breathing, not trying to fix anything, not trying to think positively, just noticing. This small habit builds awareness. Awareness brings understanding. Understanding brings calm. At first, reflection may bring uncomfortable thoughts, regrets, fears, doubts. This is normal. Silence does not create these thoughts. It reveals them. These thoughts were already there. Noise only covered them. Facing them gently is the first step to healing. When you allow thoughts to appear without judgment, they lose strength. Avoiding them keeps them alive. Reflection also helps you understand your direction. Many people feel lost because they never ask themselves honest questions. Silence creates space for these questions. What do I need right now? What is draining me? What is helping me? These questions do not need quick answers. Even asking them is powerful. The mind starts searching quietly. Another important part of silence is rest. The brain needs rest, just like the body. When there is constant noise, the brain stays alert. Stress stays high. Silence tells the brain it is safe. Heart rate slows. Breathing becomes deeper. This physical calm supports mental calm. Slowly, anxiety reduces, sleep improves, focus returns. Reflection also builds self-trust. When you listen to yourself regularly, you stop depending only on others' opinions. You start recognizing your own signals: tiredness, stress, joy, interest. These signals guide better decisions. Many people burn out because they ignore these signals. Silence helps you hear them early. There were moments when reflection showed uncomfortable truths, habits that were harmful, patterns that repeated, choices that avoided responsibility. Reflection is honest. It does not lie. But honesty is not punishment. It is guidance. Seeing clearly gives you a chance to change gently, not forcefully. Silence also improves listening in daily life. When your mind is calmer, you listen better to others. You react less. You understand more. Conversations feel lighter. This habit improves relationships quietly. People feel more comfortable around calm presence. Silence teaches patience. Another powerful effect of silence is creativity. Ideas need space. When the mind is full, creativity stops. When silence appears, ideas rise naturally. Solutions come without forcing. This is why many insights come during quiet moments. Walking alone, sitting quietly, early mornings, silence unlocks deeper thinking. The habit of silence and reflection does not mean thinking all the time. It means balanced thinking. Some moments are for action, some moments are for stillness. Life needs both. Without reflection, action becomes blind. Without action, reflection becomes empty. This habit creates balance. Some days, silence will feel peaceful. Some days, it will feel heavy. Both are okay. The habit is not about feeling good every time. It is about staying honest with yourself. Over time, silence becomes less scary. It becomes familiar. It becomes safe. This habit supports all other habits. Waking up with purpose becomes clearer after reflection. Showing up every day feels easier when the mind is calm. Controlling thoughts improves when silence gives space between thoughts. Silence connects everything together. Many people think change comes from doing more, but sometimes change comes from doing less. Less noise, less distraction, less pressure. Silence teaches that you do not need to run all the time. Sometimes stopping is the most powerful action. The habit of silence does not change life loudly. It changes life quietly. It creates inner stability. When inner stability grows, outer life becomes easier to manage. Problems still exist, but they do not control everything. Reflection helps you see progress that is invisible. Small improvements, subtle changes, emotional growth. Without reflection, these changes go unnoticed. Reflection reminds you that effort matters, even when results are slow. This habit saved many people from burning out completely. It gave space to breathe again. It reminded them that they are human, not machines. Silence gave them permission to rest without guilt. Over time, silence becomes a friend, a place to return when life feels heavy, a space where you do not need to perform. You just need to be. This is why this habit matters so much. In a loud world, silence becomes strength. In a fast world, reflection becomes direction. And in a confused life, stillness becomes clarity. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of taking care of your body. Why physical care is deeply connected to mental strength and emotional balance. Journey 5. The habit of taking care of your body. For a long time, the body was ignored. It was treated like a machine that must work no matter what. Sleep was short, food was rushed, movement was rare, rest felt like weakness. Many people live this way. They push their body every day and listen only when pain becomes loud. By that time, energy is gone, focus is broken, and motivation feels empty. This is why the habit of taking care of your body becomes a turning point. When the body is weak, the mind struggles. When the body is supported, the mind becomes stronger. Taking care of the body does not mean being perfect. It does not mean strict diets or hard workouts. It means respect. Respect for limits, respect for needs, respect for recovery. The body speaks quietly at first. It sends signals: tiredness, tightness, lack of focus. When these signals are ignored for too long, they turn into pain and burnout. This habit teaches listening early, not late. Many people try to fix their life only with thinking. They read, they plan, they motivate themselves. But they forget the body. The body carries the mind. When the body is exhausted, positive thinking feels impossible. Taking care of the body supports all other habits. It creates energy for consistency. It creates calm for thought control. It creates stability for reflection. Sleep is the first place this habit begins. Without sleep, nothing works well. The mind becomes emotional. Focus drops. Small problems feel big. Taking care of the body means protecting sleep gently, not perfectly, just consistently. Going to bed a little earlier, turning off screens a little sooner, creating a simple night routine. Sleep is not a luxury. It is fuel. When sleep improves, life improves quietly. Food is another part of this habit. Food is not just taste. It is information for the body. When the body gets poor fuel, energy becomes unstable. Mood changes quickly. Focus disappears. Taking care of the body does not mean eating perfectly. It means eating regularly, eating enough, drinking water, choosing simple food when possible. These small choices support the body without pressure. When the body feels supported, cravings reduce naturally. Movement is also important. The body is designed to move. When it stays still for too long, tension builds. Energy gets stuck. The mind feels heavy. Movement does not need to be intense. Walking is enough. Stretching is enough. Simple movement every day wakes up the body. It improves blood flow. It releases stress. It clears the mind. Many people feel better after movement, even if they did not want to start. This is because movement changes chemistry inside the body. Taking care of the body also means rest. Real rest. Not scrolling. Not constant noise. Rest means allowing the body to slow down, sitting quietly, lying down without guilt, breathing deeply. Rest repairs the nervous system. Without rest, stress stays high. High stress makes habits harder to keep. Rest makes discipline sustainable. Another important part of this habit is posture and breathing. Many people breathe shallowly all day. Shoulders are tense. Jaw is tight. This keeps the body in stress mode. Slow breathing sends a signal of safety. The body relaxes. The mind follows. Simple breathing habits can change how the entire day feels. When the body feels safe, thoughts become calmer. Taking care of the body also builds self-respect. When you choose to sleep, eat, move, and rest with intention, you send a message to yourself: I matter. This message is powerful. Many people feel low because they treat themselves as unimportant. This habit slowly changes that belief. Self-care is not selfish. It is maintenance. There were days when the body felt heavy. No energy, no strength. On those days, taking care of the body meant doing less, not more. Listening instead of pushing. This is important. The habit is not about forcing productivity. It is about balance. Some days require effort. Some days require rest. Wisdom is knowing the difference. When the body is supported, emotions become more stable. Anxiety reduces. Mood swings soften. This does not remove problems, but it makes them easier to handle. Many emotional struggles are connected to physical exhaustion. Fixing the body gently helps fix the mind naturally. This habit also changes how you wake up. Mornings feel less painful. The body recovers faster. The day feels more manageable. This supports the habit of waking up with purpose. Everything connects. Taking care of the body also teaches patience. Results are not immediate. Energy improves slowly. Strength builds gradually. This teaches respect for process. Many people quit because they expect fast results. This habit encourages long-term thinking. It is important to remove guilt from this habit. Resting is not laziness. Eating is not weakness. Moving slowly is not failure. Guilt creates stress. Stress damages the body. Kindness heals it. Treating the body kindly creates trust. Trust creates consistency. Over time, this habit creates a stable foundation. Life still has stress. Problems still appear. But the body is no longer breaking under pressure. It becomes a support, not a burden. This changes how challenges feel. Taking care of the body also improves confidence. When the body feels stronger, posture changes, energy changes, presence changes. This confidence is quiet, but real. It comes from stability, not appearance. This habit does not require perfection. It requires attention. Small daily care beats extreme effort. 1 glass of water, 1 walk, 1 early night. These actions seem small, but repeated, they change life. The body remembers how it is treated. Treat it with care, and it responds with strength. Treat it with neglect, and it responds with pain. This habit teaches responsibility without punishment. Journey 5 reminds us that growth is not only mental, it is physical. When the body is supported, everything becomes easier. Not easy, but easier. And easier is enough to continue. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of discipline over comfort. Why doing what is needed matters more than doing what feels easy. Journey 6, the habit of discipline. Over comfort. Comfort feels good. It feels safe. It feels easy. After a long day, comfort calls quietly. Stay in bed. Scroll a little more. Skip the work. Do it tomorrow. These words sound gentle, but over time they become dangerous. Many people do not fail because they are weak. They fail because comfort slowly takes control. This is why the habit of discipline over comfort becomes a powerful turning point in life. Discipline does not mean being hard on yourself all the time. It does not mean living without joy. Discipline means choosing what helps you grow, even when it feels uncomfortable. Comfort chooses what feels good now. Discipline chooses what will feel good later. This difference is small in the moment, but huge over time. There were days when comfort won easily. Plans were made in the morning, but comfort erased them by night. The body felt tired. The mind wanted rest, so discipline felt cruel. But later, something became clear. Comfort never asked if tomorrow would be harder. It only cared about now. Discipline cared about the future version of you. The habit of discipline begins with awareness. You start noticing the moment when comfort appears. That moment is quiet. It does not shout. It whispers. Just today. You deserve a break. One day won't matter. Discipline does not argue loudly. It simply says, do the small thing anyway. This small response changes everything. Discipline is not about big actions. It is about small choices. Waking up when you want to sleep more. Reading 1 page when you want to stop. Walking when you want to sit. These actions are not dramatic. They are invisible. But repeated daily, they build strength. Comfort never builds strength. Discipline does. Many people wait to feel ready before acting. Discipline acts without waiting. It understands that readiness comes after action, not before. Motivation often follows movement. When you start, energy appears. When you wait, energy disappears. Discipline understands this pattern and uses it. There were moments when discipline felt heavy. The mind complained, the body resisted. But after the action was done, something changed. Pride appeared quietly, not loud pride, but self-respect. The feeling of, I did not quit. That feeling matters. It builds confidence slowly. Confidence built from discipline lasts longer than confidence built from praise. The habit of discipline over comfort also teaches honesty. Comfort often lies. It says rest is needed when avoidance is the real reason. Discipline asks honest questions. Am I tired or am I avoiding? This honesty is uncomfortable, but freeing. When you know the truth, you can choose wisely. Discipline does not remove pleasure from life. It protects it. When discipline creates structure, comfort becomes enjoyable again. Rest feels earned. Relaxation feels deeper. Without discipline, comfort loses value. It becomes escape. Discipline brings balance. Another important part of this habit is consistency. Discipline works best when it is routine, not emotional. Doing something at the same time every day removes decision fatigue. You do not debate. You do not negotiate. You simply do it. This simplicity makes discipline easier. Comfort thrives on debate. Discipline thrives on routine. There were days when discipline was gentle. There were days when it was firm. Both were needed. Discipline is flexible, not rigid. It adjusts without quitting. If energy is low, discipline chooses a smaller task, not zero. This keeps momentum alive. Comfort breaks momentum. Discipline protects it. This habit also changes identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You start seeing yourself as someone who does what is needed. This identity is powerful. It affects choices automatically. Discipline becomes part of who you are, not something you force. Discipline over comfort also reduces regret. Many regrets come from comfort-based decisions, skipping effort, avoiding discomfort. Over time, these choices add up. Discipline reduces regret by creating alignment between actions and values. Even when results are slow, effort feels meaningful. The habit does not make life easy. It makes life stable. Stability allows growth. Growth creates confidence. Confidence reduces fear. This chain reaction begins with discipline. There were moments when discipline felt lonely. Others chose comfort. Others relaxed. Others moved on. Discipline sometimes means walking alone, but later, results appear, quietly, and the loneliness fades. Comfort creates company now. Discipline creates company later. This habit also supports emotional strength. When you do hard things by choice, fear loses power. You learn that discomfort is survivable. This lesson is life-changing. Many fears disappear when faced gently through discipline. Discipline also teaches patience. Results do not appear quickly. This teaches trust. Trust in process, trust in effort, trust in time. Comfort demands instant reward. Discipline accepts delay. Over time, discipline becomes less painful. It becomes normal. What was once hard becomes routine. This is growth. Growth always feels uncomfortable before it feels natural. Journey 6 teaches that comfort is not the enemy. Excess comfort is. Discipline brings balance. It allows comfort without control. It allows rest without escape. You do not need extreme discipline. You need consistent discipline. One small uncomfortable action per day is enough. That action builds a habit. That habit builds a life. This habit did not change life overnight, but it stopped life from going backward. And that was enough to continue. Discipline over comfort is not about punishment. It is about respect. Respect for your future. Respect for your effort. Respect for who you are becoming. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of learning every day. How small learning habits quietly transform confidence, skills, and identity. Journey 7. The habit of learning. Every day for a long time, learning felt heavy. It felt like school. It felt like pressure. Tests, grades, mistakes, and fear of being wrong made learning feel stressful. Many people stop learning early in life, not because they do not want to grow, but because learning feels uncomfortable. Over time, this creates a quiet problem. Confidence slowly disappears. The world changes, but the mind stays the same. This is why the habit of learning every day becomes so important. Learning does not need to be painful. It can be calm, simple, and gentle. Learning every day does not mean studying for hours. It does not mean reading difficult books or memorizing facts. It means staying curious. It means allowing the mind to grow a little every day. Even 5 minutes is enough. One new word, one new idea, one small lesson. These small actions protect the mind from becoming closed and tired. Many people believe learning ends after school, but real learning often starts after school. Life teaches lessons that books cannot. Learning every day means learning from experience, from mistakes, from conversations, from listening. When you stop learning, life feels smaller. When you keep learning, life feels open. The habit of learning every day builds confidence quietly. When you learn something new, the mind feels capable. You remind yourself that growth is still possible. This is especially important when life feels stuck. Learning creates movement. Even when external life does not change, internal growth continues. That internal growth brings hope. Learning also reduces fear. Many fears come from not understanding. When you learn, confusion reduces. Understanding increases. The unknown becomes familiar. Familiar things feel less scary. This is why learning is powerful for mental strength. There were days when learning felt slow. Progress felt invisible. But learning works like water on stone, slowly, quietly. Over time, change appears. Vocabulary grows. Thinking becomes clearer. Expression improves. Confidence builds. This process cannot be rushed, but it always works when repeated. The habit of learning every day also changes identity. You stop seeing yourself as someone who doesn't know enough. You start seeing yourself as someone who is learning. This shift is powerful. It removes shame. It replaces it with curiosity. Curiosity feels lighter than pressure. Learning does not need perfection. You do not need to understand everything. You do not need to remember everything. Exposure is enough. Repetition is enough. The mind learns naturally when pressure is removed. This is especially important for language learning. Listening often matters more than speaking perfectly. Mistakes are part of the process. Another important part of this habit is consistency. Learning a little every day is stronger than learning a lot once a week. The brain remembers repeated exposure better. Daily learning creates familiarity. Familiarity creates comfort. Comfort creates confidence. Learning also connects deeply with humility. When you learn, you accept that you do not know everything. This acceptance is freeing. You stop pretending. You stop comparing. You focus on growth instead of image. Humility keeps the mind open. An open mind learns faster. There were moments when learning felt frustrating. Concepts felt difficult. Progress felt slow. On those days, the habit of learning every day meant staying patient, staying gentle, not quitting. Learning is not a race. Everyone has a different pace. Respecting your pace protects motivation. Learning every day also improves discipline. When learning becomes a habit, it no longer needs motivation. You simply do it. Read a page, listen to a story, watch a short lesson. This routine builds structure. Structure reduces stress. Stress-free learning feels natural. This habit also improves communication. When you learn new words and ideas, expression becomes easier. You explain thoughts better. You listen better. Conversations improve. Connection improves. Learning strengthens relationships indirectly. Learning also protects mental health. A learning mind stays active. It stays flexible. It adapts. When challenges appear, a learning mind searches for solutions instead of giving up. This resilience is built through daily learning. The habit of learning every day teaches patience with yourself. Some days you will understand quickly. Some days you will not. Both are okay. Learning is not about speed. It is about direction. As long as you are moving, you are growing. Learning does not need to be serious all the time. Stories, videos, conversations, and experiences are also learning. Enjoyment increases consistency. When learning feels enjoyable, it becomes sustainable. Another quiet benefit of learning is hope. When you learn, you believe in tomorrow. You believe that change is possible. Learning reminds you that life is not fixed. You are not fixed. Growth is always available. This habit also supports other habits. Discipline becomes easier when learning explains why effort matters. Controlling thoughts becomes easier when learning brings understanding. Reflection becomes deeper when learning adds perspective. Everything connects. Learning every day also reduces regret. Regret often comes from stagnation, from feeling behind. Learning brings progress. Even small progress reduces regret. It gives peace. The habit does not demand much. It asks for consistency, not intensity. One sentence a day, one idea a day, one lesson a day. Over time, these small actions create big change. Journey 7 reminds us that learning is not about becoming perfect. It is about staying alive inside, curious, open, growing. When learning stops, life feels narrow. When learning continues, life feels wide. This habit changed confidence. It changed thinking. It changed direction, not loudly, not quickly, but deeply. Learning every day keeps the mind young, flexible, and hopeful. And hope is one of the most powerful forces in life. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of letting go of toxic patterns, how releasing what hurts you creates space for growth and peace. Journey 8. The habit of letting go of toxic patterns. There was a time when life felt heavy, but the reason was not clear. Nothing was completely wrong, yet peace was missing. The days felt tiring, not because of work, but because of repeating patterns. Same thoughts, same habits, same situations. Many people live inside toxic patterns without noticing them. These patterns do not always look dangerous. Sometimes they feel familiar, and familiarity feels safe, even when it hurts. This is why the habit of letting go of toxic patterns becomes one of the hardest but most powerful habits in life. Toxic patterns are not always people. Sometimes they are habits. Sometimes they are thoughts. Sometimes they are routines that no longer serve you. Overthinking, self-criticism, avoiding responsibility, staying where you are not respected, saying yes when you want to say no. These patterns slowly drain energy. They do not break life suddenly. They weaken it quietly. Letting go does not mean anger. It does not mean blame. It does not mean cutting everything instantly. Letting go starts with awareness. You notice what hurts you repeatedly. You notice what keeps you stuck. You notice what steals peace instead of building it. Awareness is the first step. Without awareness, patterns repeat automatically. Many people stay in toxic patterns because change feels scary. Even pain feels safer than the unknown. The mind prefers what it knows. This is normal. Letting go challenges comfort. It asks you to face uncertainty. But staying in toxic patterns costs more in the long run. It costs energy. It costs confidence. It costs self-respect. There were moments when letting go felt like loss. Loss of people, loss of habits, loss of identity. But over time, it became clear that letting go creates space. Space for calm. Space for growth, space for better choices. Toxic patterns fill life with noise. Letting go creates silence, and silence allows healing. One of the most common toxic patterns is negative self-talk. The voice that says, "You are not enough. You always fail. You will never change." This voice feels real because it repeats often, but repetition does not make it true. Letting go of this pattern means questioning it. Not fighting it. Just asking, is this helping me? If the answer is no, it is time to release it gently. Another toxic pattern is staying in places where growth is impossible. This can be a job, a routine, or even a mindset. When you stay too long in the wrong place, you shrink. You stop dreaming. You stop trying. Letting go means admitting that something no longer fits. This admission is not failure. It is honesty. People can also be part of toxic patterns. Not everyone who hurts you is bad. Some people are simply unable to grow with you. They may disrespect boundaries. They may drain energy. They may keep you stuck in the past. Letting go does not require hate. It requires clarity. You can wish people well and still choose distance. Distance is sometimes necessary for peace. Letting go also means releasing habits that bring short comfort but long pain. Overeating, scrolling endlessly, avoiding difficult tasks. These habits protect you from discomfort for a moment, but they create regret later. Letting go of these patterns is not about punishment. It is about replacing them with healthier choices slowly. This habit teaches patience. Letting go is rarely instant. Patterns built over years take time to release. Some days you will return to old habits. That does not mean failure. It means awareness is growing. Each time you notice a pattern and choose differently, even once, you weaken it. Progress happens through repetition, not perfection. Letting go also builds self-respect. When you stop tolerating what hurts you, you send a message to yourself. I matter. This message is powerful. It changes how you make decisions. It changes what you accept. Self-respect grows when boundaries are respected. Another important part of letting go is forgiveness. Not always forgiving others, but forgiving yourself. Many toxic patterns are built from shame. Shame keeps people stuck. Forgiveness releases that grip. When you forgive yourself for past mistakes, you stop repeating them unconsciously. Forgiveness is not forgetting. It is freeing. Letting go creates emotional lightness. The mind feels less crowded. Decisions become clearer. Energy returns. This does not mean life becomes easy. It means life becomes honest. Honest life is easier to manage than fake comfort. This habit also supports growth. When toxic patterns are released, healthy habits have space to grow. Discipline becomes easier. Learning becomes enjoyable. Reflection becomes deeper. Everything improves because resistance is removed. There were moments when letting go felt lonely. Old patterns provided company. Even if they were painful, they were familiar. Letting go creates a gap. This gap can feel empty at first, but emptiness is not bad. It is space waiting to be filled with something better. Letting go also teaches courage. Courage is not loud. It is quiet decision-making, choosing peace over familiarity, choosing growth over comfort, choosing self-respect over approval. These choices build inner strength. The habit of letting go does not mean removing everything negative from life. It means reducing what is unnecessary. Life will always have challenges. Toxic patterns add extra pain that can be avoided. Letting go simplifies life. Over time, this habit changes identity. You stop being someone who survives pain. You become someone who chooses peace. This identity shift is powerful. It affects every area of life. Letting go also brings gratitude. When you release what hurts, you appreciate what helps. Small joys become visible. Calm moments feel precious. Life feels lighter. Journey 8 reminds us that growth sometimes means subtraction, not addition. You do not always need more habits, more goals, more effort. Sometimes you need less noise, less pain, less pressure. Letting go is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is choosing what matters. It is trusting that peace is worth the risk of change. This habit did not change life instantly, but it removed what was slowly destroying it, and that made all the difference. In the next journey, we will talk about the habit of gratitude and simplicity, how appreciating what you have brings peace, clarity, and quiet strength. Journey 9. The habit of gratitude and simplicity. There was a time when life felt heavy, not because of big problems, but because of constant wanting. Wanting more money, more success, more approval, more happiness. The mind kept looking forward, never resting in the present. Even good moments felt incomplete. This quiet dissatisfaction slowly stole peace. Many people live like this without realizing it. This is why the habit of gratitude and simplicity becomes so powerful. It does not remove problems, but it changes how life feels. Gratitude begins with noticing. Noticing what is already here. Breath, a safe place to sleep. Food, small moments of calm. These things are easy to ignore because they feel normal, but normal does not mean unimportant. Gratitude trains the mind to see what is working, not only what is missing. When the mind sees balance, stress reduces. Simplicity works together with gratitude. Simplicity means reducing noise, fewer expectations, fewer comparisons, fewer unnecessary demands. When life becomes simpler, the mind becomes lighter. Many people are tired not because they do too much, but because they think too much. Simplicity quiets the mind. Gratitude does not mean pretending everything is good. It does not mean ignoring pain. It means holding two truths at the same time. This is hard, and this is not all bad. This balance creates emotional strength. Without gratitude, pain feels endless. With gratitude, pain feels temporary. There were moments when gratitude felt forced. Saying "I am grateful" did not change emotions immediately. That is normal. Gratitude is a habit, not a mood. At first, it feels mechanical. Over time, it becomes natural. The mind learns to look for good automatically. Gratitude also changes how the past is remembered. Instead of only remembering mistakes, you start remembering growth, lessons, survival. This shift softens regret. It creates compassion for your journey. Compassion brings peace. Simplicity also changes daily choices. You stop filling time with things that drain you. Endless scrolling, constant comparison, busy schedules that bring no joy. Simplicity asks one question: is this adding value or noise? This question guides decisions gently. When life becomes simpler, focus improves, energy returns. You stop feeling pulled in many directions. This calm supports all other habits. Discipline becomes easier. Learning feels lighter. Reflection becomes deeper. Gratitude also improves relationships. When you appreciate people instead of expecting perfection, connection improves. Small kindness feels bigger. Conversations feel warmer. Gratitude softens judgment. Judgment creates distance. Gratitude creates closeness. Another powerful part of gratitude is presence. When you appreciate the moment, you stay in it. You stop rushing. You stop waiting for something else to happen. Presence reduces anxiety. Anxiety often lives in the future. Gratitude brings attention back to now. Simplicity teaches letting go of excess, not only physical things, but mental clutter. Old grudges, unnecessary worries, expectations that bring pressure. Letting go creates space, space for peace, space for joy. There were days when life still felt difficult. Gratitude did not remove stress completely, but it changed the background feeling. Life felt lighter, more manageable. Gratitude acted like a soft cushion during hard times. Gratitude also builds resilience. When challenges appear, the mind remembers past strength. I survived before. I have support. This memory builds courage. Courage grows quietly. This habit also changes identity. You stop seeing yourself as lacking. You start seeing yourself as enough. Enough does not mean finished. It means worthy now. This belief reduces pressure. Pressure often blocks growth. Simplicity also protects time. Time is limited. Simplicity helps you use it wisely. Fewer distractions mean deeper focus. Deeper focus brings satisfaction. Satisfaction reduces craving for more. Gratitude can be practiced simply. Writing one thing you appreciate. Saying thank you silently. Pausing to notice something good. These small actions train the brain. The brain learns through repetition. Over time, gratitude rewires thinking. The mind becomes less reactive, more balanced, more peaceful. This does not mean negative thoughts disappear. They just lose control. Gratitude also connects deeply with humility. You realize that not everything is earned alone. Support comes from many places. His realization creates softness. Softness does not mean weakness. It means openness. Simplicity and gratitude together create contentment. Contentment is not giving up on goals. It is enjoying the journey while moving forward. Without contentment, success never feels enough. Journey 9 reminds us that happiness is not always about adding more. Sometimes it is about noticing more, noticing what is already present, appreciating what already supports you. This habit did not change the outside world. It changed the inside world, and that change affected everything else. Gratitude and simplicity create a calm foundation. From this foundation, growth becomes gentle instead of stressful. Life feels lighter, even when it is not easy. In the final journey, we will bring everything together and talk about the habit of never giving up on yourself, with a strong reflection and powerful call to action. Journey 10. The habit of never giving up on yourself. There was a moment when giving up felt easier than continuing. Not because life was impossible, but because hope felt tired. Many people reach this point quietly. They do not shout. They do not cry loudly. They simply stop trying. They still wake up. They still work. But inside, they have already quit. This is the most dangerous place to be. Not failure, not pain, but silent surrender. This is why the habit of never giving up on yourself is the most important habit of all. Never giving up does not mean pushing hard every day. It does not mean being strong all the time. It means staying connected to yourself, even when you feel weak. It means saying, "I am not done," even when progress is slow. Many people think giving up happens in one big moment. In reality, it happens through small decisions: skipping effort, avoiding responsibility, stopping belief. This habit interrupts that pattern gently. There were days when nothing worked. Habits failed, motivation disappeared, old patterns returned. On those days, giving up felt logical. But logic is not always truth. Feelings are temporary. States change. The habit of never giving up understands this. It does not demand perfection. It asks for loyalty to yourself. Loyalty means returning again and again, even after falling. Never giving up also means changing how you talk to yourself. Instead of saying, "I always fail," you say, "I failed today." This small change matters. It keeps the future open. Identity is powerful. When you identify as someone who never gives up, failure becomes a pause, not an ending. This habit teaches patience with your own timeline. Growth does not follow a straight line. Some days move forward, some days move backward. Both are part of the journey. Giving up usually happens when people expect constant progress. Never giving up accepts fluctuation. It understands that rest, struggle, and slow days are not signs of weakness. They are signs of being human. Never giving up also means asking for help when needed. This is important. Many people think persistence means doing everything alone. That belief is dangerous. Strength includes reaching out, learning from others, accepting support. You do not quit when you ask for help. You continue in a different way. This habit also means remembering why you started. When effort feels heavy, purpose becomes fuel. Purpose does not need to be big. It can be simple: peace, stability, growth, respect for yourself. Returning to this purpose reignites direction. Direction matters more than speed. There were moments when the future felt unclear. No clear goal, no clear path. On those days, never giving up meant focusing on the next small step. Not the whole journey, just the next step. Life becomes manageable when broken into moments. This habit protects you from overwhelm. Never giving up also requires forgiveness. Forgiving missed days, forgiving mistakes, forgiving slow progress. Shame often pushes people to quit, or forgiveness pulls them back. When you forgive yourself, you give yourself permission to continue. This permission is powerful. Another part of this habit is trust. Trust that effort matters even when results are invisible. Trust that change is happening beneath the surface. Trust that consistency builds strength over time. Many people quit because they cannot see progress. Never giving up trusts the process without needing proof every day. This habit also reshapes fear. Fear does not disappear. but it loses control. When you decide not to give up, fear becomes noise instead of a command. You act anyway. Acting despite fear builds courage. Courage grows through repetition, not bravery. Never giving up does not mean staying in the same place forever. Sometimes, never giving up means changing direction, not stopping. Adjusting goals, choosing healthier paths, leaving what hurts, staying loyal to growth, not to pain. Over time, this habit changes identity deeply. You stop seeing yourself as fragile. You see yourself as resilient. Resilience is not loud. It is quiet endurance. It is standing up one more time than you fall. Never giving up also brings peace. When you know you will not abandon yourself, anxiety reduces. You trust yourself to handle whatever comes. This trust is calming. It makes life feel safer, even when it is uncertain. This habit connects all other habits together. Waking up with purpose gives direction. Showing up every day builds consistency. Controlling thoughts brings calm. Silence brings clarity. Body care builds energy. Discipline builds structure. Learning builds confidence. Letting go removes pain. Gratitude brings peace. And never giving up keeps everything alive. Without this habit, other habits fade during hard times. With this habit, nothing is truly lost. You may pause, you may slow down, but you return. There were times when progress felt invisible. But looking back, survival itself was progress. Staying was progress. Choosing not to quit was progress. Many victories are invisible. They still count. Never giving up is not about success. It is about relationship with yourself. When you choose to stay, you tell yourself, "You matter." This message is healing. It changes how you live. Life will test you. There will be days when quitting feels reasonable. On those days, remember this. You do not need to win today. You only need to stay. Stay curious. Stay patient. Stay kind to yourself. This habit did not change life overnight, but it saved it, slowly, quietly, honestly. If this series helped you even a little, do not let it end here. Listen again to improve your English and strengthen your mindset. Save this series for days when you feel tired or lost. Share it with someone who needs a calm reminder to keep going. Most importantly, choose one habit from this journey and practice it today. Not perfectly, just honestly. You do not need to change your whole life. You only need to stop giving up on yourself. Stay, try again, and keep going.